There are places on our planet, remote and mysterious, that present qualities and features that continue to challenge our academia and our paradigm. Welcome to the Unknown Zone. Today, we are going to look at the mysteries of Machu Picchu in Peru and hints of advanced ancient knowledge. Peru is a country that is steeped in ancient mysteries and intrigue, with many locations possessing archaeology and relics that hint of lost epochs of time, when forgotten civilizations practiced advanced methods of construction and an incredible knowledge of arts, astronomy, and other sciences. Mysterious places such as Sacsayhuaman on the northern outskirts of the city of Cusco, where you're presented with the sight of huge blocks of stone that fit together so compactly that no mortar is needed. And then, within the ancient city of Cusco itself, featuring ancient and incredible construction mysteries such as the Stone of 12 Angles and the Serpent Stones. Peru is also home to one of the most mysterious lakes in the world, being Lake Titicaca. At an elevation of 12,500 feet, it has a depth in some places of over 900 feet. Local legends say that the lake is the birthplace of the Incas and the birthplace of the sun, and that there is an ancient lost city of gold somewhere in its depths. The lake also has a reputation of being a UFO hotspot, with many witness reports stating that bright objects can regularly be seen diving into and emerging from the waters. Then you have the mystery of the Nazca Lines, an area of nearly 500 square kilometers in southern Peru, with geoglyphs were laid down in the desert plains of the Rio Grande de Nazca River Basin over 2,000 years ago, 400 kilometers south of the capital, Lima. Some of the geoglyphs resemble long runways, while others depict animals, insects, and figures that look like they're wearing helmets. Those are just a few of the many unsolved mysteries of Peru, some of which we will cover in future episodes, but some facts about the country will surprise you. For example, the coast of Peru was once home to the oldest civilization in the Americas, known as the Caral-Supe civilization, also known as the Norte Chico civilization, which dates back more than 5,500 years. As old as that is, recent carbon dating of relics and samples in the Pativilca and Fortaleza areas have shown evidence of sophisticated settlements on the coastal areas that date back over 11,200 years. Even the geology and geography of Peru is notable and unusual. Places such as the beautiful Vinicunca mountain range to the southeast of Cusco with its rainbow colors, at an elevation of 17,100 feet above sea level. One of over 400 lakes in Hauskata National Park areas harbor the clear blue waters of Lake 69 at an elevation of 14,700 feet above sea level. This attracts many hikers and tourists each year. And tourism brings us to the topic of today's feature, the mysteries of Machu Picchu. On average, each year, the 15th century Inca citadel receives about 1,500,000 tourists and is primarily known for its stunning views high in the Peruvian Andes Mountains. The vast city complex sits atop over 200 stone terraces, almost 8,000 feet above sea level, and was left abandoned for between 400 and 500 years after the Spanish conquistadors invaded the region. The origin of Machu Picchu and its use in the past is still heavily debated today, with many researchers theorizing the complex was built as a royal retreat for the 9th ruler of the Incas, Pachusuti, who rose to power in 1450. However, recent discoveries and research has yielded results that have historians and researchers theorizing that the main complex was used by the Incas as a ceremonial center for rituals and worship, and that pilgrims would make their way there often from around the Incan Empire. Still, some contend the area was a strategic staging area for local conflicts and battle preparation, while others say it was used as a prison complex. So far, its historical use is still out for a solid explanation and remains unknown, yet it does hold the exclusive status as being a wonder of the modern world. What is fascinating, though, is that even with today's technology, scientists and engineers are at a loss to explain how the city complex was constructed without the wheel or cement and at such a high elevation. But before we focus on the mysteries of its construction, let's look at some of the lesser-known mysteries of the complex. As I mentioned, the structure was left abandoned for between 400 to 500 years, but was literally stumbled upon in 1911 by American archaeologist Hiram Bingham during his expedition. Bingham suspected he had found the fabled lost city of the Incas and would return 3 times with expeditions in 1912, 1914, and 1915 to further investigate and excavate portions of the complex. During this time, it is estimated that around 40,000 relics and artifacts were removed, which included ceramics, mummies, skeletons, and ornaments, and taken to Yale University, which sponsored the expeditions. Those items were subsequently returned to the Peruvian government between 2007 and 2012. A number of skulls that were taken from the area exhibited elongation, which was regarded as a curiosity at the time, with some speculation that the skulls were of mutants and giants. Since then, numerous theories as to the reason the skulls were shaped that way have been proposed. The leading theory stems from a period before the construction of Machu Picchu to the Calagua ethnic community in Peru, where the leaders, the so-called elite members of society, would identify themselves through head wrapping and elongation that started after birth. What most visitors to the city complex don't know is that it is nestled between 2 active faults, and the area continues to be prone to periodic earthquakes. Records going back to the year 1900 in the vicinity around Machu Picchu illustrate how seismically active the area is, with 1 quake of magnitude 7, 3 quakes between 6 and 7, 45 quakes between 5 and 6, and 191 quakes between 4 and 5. The area also receives torrential rains during monsoons each year, which has caused landslides in the areas around Machu Picchu. Why would the Inca construct a city complex in such a location, with a threat of earthquakes, landslides, and in a location highly elevated and so difficult to get to in those times and even today? Once again, this question remains unanswered. Although an interesting theory regarding building close to faults is that there is always an abundance of broken rocks in such zones, which end up being used in construction, and other Incan structures have been found near or even on such faults. But as of yet, similarly to the question of what the city complex was definitely used as, the questions remain unsolved. The testament to the genius of the designers and builders who constructed Machu Picchu, though, lies in the stunning fact that it has survived to this day in such a pristine state, irrespective of earthquakes, detrimental weather conditions, and rocks that make up most of the complex appear to be molded to fit each other so precisely that you cannot find any gaps. Now, keeping in mind that the builders did not use draft animals, iron tools, or the wheel in transporting any of the boulders or cut rock, and did not use cement to bond the blocks of the walls and buildings, we're left with the ultimate mysteries of how it has stood up to the test of time in such an environment and how the city complex was constructed. Machu Picchu presents a huge mystery and is paralleled by many other sites, some of them vastly more ancient across the South and Central Americas. Were the Incas the last civilization to practice methods of stonemasonry that have since been lost to history? Methods and practices which date back into obscure epochs of time that hint of advanced ancient knowledge? The answers so far are unknown, and that's why, for now, these questions will remain in the unknown zone.